What's up guys, Dom the Hypnotist here, and today we're going to be talking about how to reprogram your mind to set you on a path of success. Alright guys, so if you haven't already, I am now offering a free one-on-one session for those who qualify. If you want to see if you qualify for the free one-on-one session, go ahead and fill out your information. There'll be a link down below and schedule a time accordingly. Guys, one of the most common questions I get is, how does this stuff actually work? How do you go through the process? How is it going to help me? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to link a video down in the description. It's one of my UFC clients. He went on the Joe Rogan Podcast and explained in detail the work that we did, how it actually worked, and how it helped him in his performance. So check that link out. It'll answer a lot of your questions, and you'll be able to hear it from somebody else other than me. And again, it's on the Joe Rogan Podcast. I'll leave a link down below. It's not the whole interview. It's a short clip. So go ahead and check it out, guys. And we're going to jump right back into the video. So now let's talk about something when it comes to our beliefs. Now remember, guys, I've talked about this before. Your conscious mind is 5% of your brain power. The other 95% is the subconscious. And all of the memories that are in your subconscious mind are dictating how you live your life. In other words, the past is going to dictate your future. So if you have events in your life where something happened to you, maybe you grew up poor and you develop beliefs of having a poor mindset that money is bad, or I can't do this, or I can't earn a certain amount of money, those beliefs are going to stay with you for the rest of your life unless you make a decision to change. Now, one thing that we have to understand is that when events happen into our lives, everything is neutral. So what does that mean? That means that events that are happening, they're not positive and they're not negative, they're just neutral. What gives them either a positive or negative outlook is the perception of the person experiencing the event. I'll give you an example. If you're somebody who grew up poor and you just think, why me? And I'm so unlucky, and I wish that I had good genes and I got born into a rich family. Well, those beliefs and that perspective, that negative perspective, is going to set you down a certain path in your life. And on the opposite side, let's say you take that event, growing up poor, and you just look at it differently. And you look at it from a perspective as, you know what? I grew up in this environment and I was still able to make it out. That means that I can persevere through anything in my life. Or maybe you look at it like, you know what? I grew up really poor, therefore I can survive on the bare minimum and I can save and invest all the rest of the money. You can also look at it like, hey, you know what? These are the events that taught me what I need to do in order to be successful, whether it's working hard, providing for your family, and it kind of shifts your perspective on what that meant to you. Now, in order for you to change your belief system and your reality, there's a couple things you need to do. Number one is we have to begin to be conscious of our thoughts and of our beliefs. Because remember, this is the unconscious mind, the subconscious mind. Unconscious means you're not aware of it. So many of the beliefs that we have, we don't even realize we have them because we've thought that way so long, we don't think anything's wrong. Whether that's, I'm not good enough, I'll never be able to make this kind of money, I can't do that because of this, money is bad, or whatever it is. It doesn't always have to be money. So we have to identify, okay, what is the negative, or what are the negative thoughts that are going through my head? Then number two is we have to identify and start to be aware of where these events started. Where did you develop this the first time, right? And once you are conscious of the belief and you're aware of when it started, then we have to reshape or reprogram what that event means to you. So again, if you've thought your whole life you weren't good enough because when you were growing up, your parents used to yell at you because every time you cleaned your room, it just wasn't good enough. It wasn't done the right way. And it sounds silly, guys, I promise. If you're listening right now, you're like, that doesn't mean anything to me. But as a kid, having your parent, the person you look up to, tell you things like that will install those beliefs. So again, not knowing that this is happening to you when you're 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, we have to go back and go, okay, that wasn't what was going on in this event. My dad or my mom, it's not that they wanted me to not be good enough. What it actually meant was that I needed to just be a little bit cleaner. I needed to be a little bit more disciplined in my life. And actually, as a matter of fact, the fact that they were so hard on me, the fact that they were telling me that it's just not good enough to redo it or to do it over again, that actually helped me be more disciplined and to be the person I am today. And once you take the learnings and you shift your perspective on what that event means for you, those limiting beliefs, they go away forever, okay? I'll give you a limiting belief that I had. That, again, I didn't know that I had for the longest time, but I finally, once I became conscious of it, I was able to identify. So I used to have, it wasn't really a belief, it was more of a fear. Right? It was a fear of losing money. Now that might sound stupid to you, but to me, that was everything. And this belief manifested in so many different areas of my life. It seemed like no matter how hard I tried to get ahead, that something would always come up, right? Whether it was, okay, your car breaks down, that costs you $2,000. You get a ticket, you get a DUI, you invest in something that doesn't pan out, you go on vacation and spend all of your money. Now, I don't necessarily mean a fear of losing money, like physically losing the money, but fear of just having money and then it disappearing. So I became conscious of it, then I identified where this event started, and turns out, and I know this is going to sound completely ridiculous, but when you're younger, especially before the age of 7, events, they affect you so much more, than they do now because you're growing and you're mature. But when I was about 4 years old, this is the memory that came up in my subconscious when I asked it certain questions. There was a time where the ice cream man came by, right? And when you're a kid, the ice cream man, that's like the highlight of your day. And I remember my dad gave me $5, and I ran out to the ice cream man, and as I'm running, I'm so excited that I let go of the $5. And for some reason on that day, it was a windy day, and the $5 ended up blowing into the street. And I was only 4 years old, so I knew not to go in the street, so I immediately ran inside and told my dad, "Dad, I lost my money, Dad, I lost my money." So he comes outside, and by the time he comes out, the $5 is gone. We don't know where it's at. And then, to top it off, that was the only cash that he had. So now imagine, again, this sounds completely silly listening to this right now and even saying this, but imagine being 4 years old. You're all excited, the ice cream man's gonna come by, you could practically taste the ice cream, you already know which one you're gonna get. And then you lose your $5, right? Imagine how traumatic that was for me as a kid. Now, after that, now you could see how I developed the fear of losing money. And again, whatever we focus on, even when we focus on what we don't want, I don't want to lose money, that will manifest itself in our lives. So what I did is I went back to that event and I took a bunch of positive learnings. Number one is always have extra money, right? And also, if I only had $5 or my dad only had $5 cash at the time, I shouldn't be spending it on ice cream, right? So I should be saving that money and investing in something else. And another couple things, it just wasn't that big of a deal. There's always another day. I could get ice cream later on that day. I could go get ice cream the next day. There's always another day. And once I took those learnings and all the events that had subsequent effects of the fear of losing money, the belief is completely gone. And once I let go of that belief, it's like I could leave $5,000 on a table of a bunch of strangers. I could come back after an hour and that $5,000 would still be there because my belief is that I hold on to money, that money loves me, money is attracted to me. And so, guys, if you want to learn how to get rid of these beliefs and you really want to learn how to identify it, fill out the information in the link below, see if you qualify for the free session, and we will go over exactly step by step on how to identify these problems. And again, guys, if you like this, comment, like it, send it to a friend, and I'll see you guys in the next video.